What's up, guys? Back for another Facebook group Rant Fridays. Let's recap how this is going to go. You should know the formula by now. I go inside Amazon seller Facebook groups. I offer commentary in 5 different parts. Part 1, I go on a crazed rant. Part 2, I stir up unnecessary drama. I say things I shouldn't say. Part 3, I give you specific, tactical, actionable Amazon selling advice you can go make money with. Part 4, I do buy or pass. I show you a book on a scanning app that I find in a Facebook group. I tell you what I buy it or pass on it based on the data I see in the scanning app. In part 5, I give you life lessons disguised as Amazon lessons. I get a little bit deep, a little bit philosophical. Let's get into it. Okay, rant time. This is a battle cry for Amazon sellers to start applying just a little bit of logic to their concerns or fears or paranoias about the business, okay? So I've talked about this in the past where anytime or oftentimes a seller will get suspended from Amazon and they'll tell their story, and the story doesn't usually tell the whole story. So you don't really know what's happening. You don't know what caused it. And so lots of theories develop, and paranoia kind of starts to spiral out of control. And a lot of what is speculative ends up being passed off as fact, or actually as it just sort of flutters around the Amazon community becomes, quote, fact. So there's a lot of misinformation around what causes people to get banned from selling on Amazon. So Amazon account suspensions do happen. That's a real thing. But the specific paranoia that I would like to address is the suspicion, and actually it rises to the level of an actual belief amongst a lot of Amazon sellers, that if you log in your Amazon account anywhere other than your home, that you are at risk of having your account suspended. Or similar, related, if you log into your account from a Wi-Fi connection where anyone else who has ever had their account suspended has logged in from, then you are possibly going to get suspended, or even just using a public Wi-Fi account because multiple accounts have signed in from the same IP address. That Amazon goes, oh wow, this person has multiple accounts, which is against the rules. This person has multiple accounts, so we're going to shut everybody down. So we don't need to know, we don't need to speculate about this. We don't need to get the official word from Amazon, which they'll never give us. They'll never tell us what their exact formula is for suspending accounts. We don't need to know anything. We should be able to look at that suspicion, that paranoia, and declare it to be completely false on its face with no other information required. Just think about this for half a second, because I keep seeing this. We're seeing this right here. There's comments where people are like, I'm too nervous. I'm only going to log in from my home account, my home Wi-Fi. I'm really nervous. I'm really scared. And it's kind of like when we're, like a tribal community, I don't know, like 2,000 years ago, like when someone would trip over a rock and then all of a sudden a rainstorm would happen an hour later. They decided that if they want it to rain, they just have to trip over rocks. It's like they just associate things that are completely unrelated. So it's kind of like that in the Amazon selling world. So we don't need to speculate. It would be complete insanity. I mean, just take a step back and look at it logically. If Amazon decided that any two sellers who logged in to the account from the same Wi-Fi, if Amazon decided those two sellers are the same seller and they have multiple accounts, it would be absolute pandemonium. It would be apocalyptic. The vast majority of Amazon sellers would have their account shut down because everyone's logged into some public Wi-Fi at some point. It's impossible. We don't even need to spend half a second wondering, I wonder if that's the case. I'm going to err on the side of caution. We don't need to do that. It's on its face. It is a false paranoia. On its face, it is impossible. Literally impossible. We don't need to wonder. Just imagine for a second the level of chaos that would ensue if that was actually really how Amazon operated. Where any time you log in from a public Wi-Fi account, as long as any other Amazon seller has logged in from that same account or the same Wi-Fi, they would shut both accounts down. It would be apocalyptic. So what I'm saying is the approach of, I don't know for sure because Amazon hasn't told us why they ban accounts. So I'm just going to go ahead and err on the side of caution. You don't even need to do that. First of all, I'm the best guinea pig in the world. I have shipped thousands of shipments from Whole Foods. When I travel, I'm I'm in a Whole Foods cafe, I'm in Starbucks, I'm in public places on public Wi-Fi managing my Amazon business. That's totally normal. I've done that for over a decade at this point. So I'm the best guinea pig in the world. Haven't had my account shut down. But again, we don't even need to speculate because there's no actual logic being applied to a lot of sellers' paranoias. It's just this seller over here tripped over a rock and then it rained an hour later. So therefore we have to avoid all rocks. And this is just one example, but this is the kind of paranoia we see sort of pervasive in the Amazon selling world that really holds people back. Like, I can't imagine running a business where I can't log in from public Wi-Fi. That would be insane. It would be inconceivable to me. So the rant here is to not buy in to the fear that spreads in the Amazon selling world. Just sit back and assess logically what the real risk level is of anything that you hear about possibly, being against the rules or causing your account to get banned or whatever. Because most information that's out there on this subject is false. So guys, here's how I separate rants and drama. Rants are, me or someone going on a tirade that actually has some value. In other words, there's actually a message being communicated that is of use to the listener. Now, drama is something below a rant. Drama is something that, as I define it, it's just something that has really no redeeming value. Drama is just a vent. So I don't know where I'm going to put this. This is either drama or a rant. I think it's going to start out as a rant and then descend into drama. This is an example. You see so many of these in these Facebook groups. This person says, hey, I'm new here. I want to start Amazon FBA. I don't know how to start. I live in Toronto. Can anyone please help me? Thanks in advance. There's an employee mindset and there is an entrepreneur mindset. This person 1000% has an employee mindset, and they should not come within a light year of any entrepreneurial venture, period. Now, I'll tell you why I'm saying that here in a second. This person could change. People can change. They can learn, right? This person's not hopeless. But the employee mindset is this. I need to be told what to do, and then I will perform the function. I will perform the act. So tell me what to do, boss. Tell me what to do, and then I will do the thing, and then you give me money for the thing. You give me money for my time. That's an employee mindset. That's most people. That's most of my friends. I'm not really knocking it. I don't think it leads to the best, most fruitful life, but I understand that most people are hardwired that way, and that's just where they're comfortable. Okay, fine. That's an employee mindset. Again, employee mindset is someone that needs to be told what to do, and they'll go do it. A lot of people are employees and think they're not employees. In other words, they think they've got lots of creative, artistic range or discretion within their W-2 employee box. And that can happen for sure. But at the end of the day, you still have a puppet master above you, guiding you in a certain direction. Entrepreneurs are just left in the battlefield with no manual to fend for themselves, okay? And so where I'm going with this is an employee mindset. This person, and the internet's full of people like this, where they show up and they're like, I need to be told what to do. You must tell me what to do, and then I will do it. But hey, internet, I need you to tell me what to do. It's almost like they're shouting to the internet like the internet's their boss. Like, hey, I'm here. What do I do? You want me to mop? You want me to sweep? You want me to do the windows? I'm here. And so this person's just saying, hey, and again, a lot of you think this is really harsh. A lot of you think I'm reading way too much into an innocent post, but I've seen way too many of these. And I'm also, a lot of what I'm saying right now comes from having been kind of neck deep in a customer support inbox for years. I've ran various tools and I've interacted with a lot, and I can always tell often within the first email or two, it's very, very clear to me if someone's going to be successful. And it's because, are they needing to be spoon-fed or are they taking initiative? Are they burning calories to figure stuff out on their own? Or are they unwilling to take any risk or any leaps of faith or move forward in the direction of success at all without being told what to do? If they are willing to do that and they are willing to sort of plunge into the darkness and hack their way through to the light on the other side, even to a small degree, that person has a lot of hope. To show up in a Facebook group that has, by the way, a PhD level of knowledge. I mean, if you just spent 3 days and all you did was actually, you'd probably end up worse. I take this back. I was going to say, you'd probably end up worse than when you started if you actually went into Facebook groups with the purpose of learning how to sell on Amazon, because you're just getting nothing but conflicting information. That's one of the reasons I started this series. It's just there's just so much bad information in these Facebook groups. But anyway, so maybe not spend time in Facebook groups, but if you just spend time online, with trusted people that know what they're doing, maybe buying a couple courses, an ebook here or there, you would not need to be asking these questions. So I'm looking at this post, and this is just tragic. I mean, there's just to just it's not even asking a question. It's just hey, I need help. It's okay, what's the question? Do you not understand sales rank? Do you need to know what sources are? Like, there's all this information is out there. Most of it is available for free on fbamastery.com. But to show up and not even have a question, you don't even know, like not even knowing enough to know what questions to ask indicates this person has taken no initiative on their own. I guess the end of this drama/rant/drama is just everyone has to decide. Are you an employee or are you an entrepreneur? You can be both, but you must leave the employee mindset back at the office if you're going to do both. If you're going to toggle between being an employee and being an entrepreneur, that employee mindset, when you walk out of work every day or you clock out, imagine there's a hinge on your brain, open your brain up, take that part of your brain out, leave it at your job, and you must have an entirely different mindset when you spend time on your entrepreneurial pursuits. It's a totally different mindset. This person has an employee mindset. They need to be spoon-fed. In my opinion, they will not be successful. Okay, Dean says, would you recommend selling as a set or just taking the ones that show a profit, and why? The answer to this is very simple. If you got a box set or set of books, this isn't a box set, but a set of books, and you're wondering, should you break them up and sell them individually or should you sell them as a set? There's really only two questions. The main one is, which one's going to make you more money? That's pretty simple, right? You simply look at the individual value, and then you look at the value selling them as a set. If that even exists, a lot of times the product page for a set doesn't even exist on Amazon, in which case I guess you could sell on eBay, but your decision is pretty simple at that point. But you just do the math. Now, the only other thing to consider is how fast are the books going to sell? So that's a factor as well. So you might get more as a set, but the set might have a sales rank of 5 million, whereas the individual titles have a sales rank, an average sales rank, let's say 500,000. So in that case, you might make more money with the set, but the set's only selling once a year or something crazy, whereas the individual titles are selling very frequently. So those are only really two things to look at. But largely, you just care which one's going to make you the most money. So again, I would just take, a handful, look them up, the individual ISBNs up on Amazon. Okay, what's the value there? And then I would find the page for the set. What's the value there? Decisions should be pretty obvious at that point. All right, quick buyer pass. Lindsay says, is this real? I always love that. People go, is this real? It's always real. The prices are real. They don't make up prices. Prices are real. Doesn't mean it's going to sell for this. Okay, is this real? What price would I list it for? I can't find it on Keepa, just Scally. Okay, so I'm just gonna go what I buy or pass on it, and then what would I list it for? So yes, I'd buy it. No questions asked. Yeah, this is easy. Cost of goods $2. Lowest merch fulfilled $46. Ranks 1.1 million. Nothing to think about here. So let's make sure there's no Amazon price. Used by. Okay, so this is like absolutely. So definitely buying this. What would I list it for? Let's see. No FBA offers. I would probably 1.1 rank. I would not expect a sale anytime soon. Well, the buy box is 149. Okay, so I would list this for $99.99. That's it. It's a nice round number. It's not too obscenely high above the lowest merch fulfilled price. It's $50. It's pretty aggressive, but it's not unrealistic. And the rank doesn't make me uncomfortable, but it doesn't make me optimistic that my book's going to sell at $100 anytime soon. That's okay, right? Because I'm the only FBA seller. So if you want an FBA offer, you need to come through me, and I'm willing to wait for it. And the price might fluctuate, but as of this moment, based on what I'm seeing, $99.99 is my price. You guys, this is just tragic. I don't know whether this is a life lesson or just a crazed rant here, but I want you to look at this post from this individual. It's a sob story of sorts. It's also a cautionary tale. This person says, I could really use some feedback and suggestions. When I started this venture, I purchased a book lot off Marketplace of 1,000 books. I had no idea about Keepa. Apparently, I didn't know about how to read a scanning app. As you can see, I've made sales, and I'll show them in a second. And I moved units, but I never made a positive balance. I've had to pay out every single month since May. Okay, so they've been going on like 4 months of sales. And let's take a look what they got here before we cry for them too hard. They have sold, I'm looking for their units. They've sold 152 units since May. So they're certainly not a big seller by any means. But okay, so what do we say to this, you guys? There is no excuse. You're going to sell inventory at a loss on a unit by unit basis often. That's fine. It's fine to lose money on individual inventory. To lose money in aggregate month after month, it shows that I mean, you want to feel bad for this person. At the same time, it's almost impossible to do that month after month unless you are just flaunting to the Amazon gods that you do not care about the basic fundamentals. And if you spit in the face of the Amazon gods, they will punish you with negative. You can see this person's lost $245. Amazon's taken that out of their account this month. I see one or two things happening here. Either this person truly does not understand the most basic math in terms of Amazon fees. In other words, they actually it's entirely possible they don't even know Amazon fees exist. I mean, if they're losing this $245 just in this pay period, and they've got hundreds of sales, they either literally don't know Amazon fees exist, they don't know how to calculate Amazon fees in even the most remote sense, which that's the most likely scenario, or they do understand the fees, but they're guilty of what I always call drug addict repricing, where you go through and you're like, okay, I didn't get any sales today. Even though I only have 50 units in my inventory, I didn't get sales today, so I'm going to drop everything by $1. Wake up the next day, oh shoot, I didn't get sales. I only got 2 sales. I got to drop the prices again. Or they see someone underprice them by a penny, and they're like, I got to underprice them by a penny. Hold on. And it's like, it's frantic drug addict. So that's possible. But it seems to me this person literally, when they list an item for sale, doesn't know what the fees are and doesn't know what a sales price translates to in terms of their payout, which is you could get a rough idea of how that works in under 30 seconds and never have to think about it again. So this is pretty staggering. So this gets into a bigger rant/life lesson about people using not just scanning apps, because I've gone on that rant before, but like all technology as a replacement for their brains, as a replacement for their incredible human cognitive ability instead of augmenting their cognitive ability. So what I mean by that is I think you have people, and this seller might be one of them, who, the obvious one is like the scanning app triggers. I've talked about this before, where people just literally have no idea what is even in their hand. They don't know what's the data on the screen. They don't understand any of it. Does it say buy or reject at the top? That's all they know, right? So it's entirely possible this person's like that, where they have their trigger set a certain way, the default settings, or they mess around with them and they're just set in a really, really poor way. And so everything that says buy, they just buy. And then they get confused when they're losing money because they just don't even understand what the triggers are. Okay, so that's possible. But anyway, so that's an example. But the bigger issue is people shutting off their brains because they have access to technology they think replaces their brain instead of augmenting their brain. So a basic example we can all, this is where we get into the life lesson part, is like, how many people sit in their living room and they pull up the weather app to see what the temperatures are outside when they have a sliding glass door not even 4 feet away they could just walk through, right? That's an example. Or on an even more like kind of a bigger level, it's like these news junkies that have no idea what's going on in their own neighborhoods, right? They don't even know anyone in their own neighborhood. They don't talk to anybody. They're not out talking to the homeless people, talking to business owners, talking to random. They're not interacting with anybody. They don't know anything about what's happening in a 10 square block of their home. But oh my gosh, do they have an opinion about Ukraine, right? So there's all this technology that is replacing what would be more healthy to obtain with our own senses, with our own computational power. So back to this person, there's no excuse for this. Like I think a lot of people would go, hey, he's new, he'll figure it out. Like there is no excuse for not, I don't know my numbers with anything. I don't know my numbers. I don't know anything. I don't know. You ask me what my net versus gross, like I don't even know that stuff. I don't know anything, you guys, but I know if an item is profitable or not profitable. I know if I'm going to lose money a certain month, which by the way, not a single month in 15 years that I've been selling on Amazon have I lost money. You have to burn calories to lose money if you have inventory. Okay. So the point is, like, you have to actually be trying. to lose money. So the point is, I don't know my numbers at all, but you've got to know your numbers when it comes down to, is this individual item going to sell for a profit or not? And there is no excuse for not knowing that number. Okay? None. So I actually don't feel bad for this particular person. There's a lot of really tragic stuff that you see in these Facebook groups with sellers. I don't feel bad for this person at all. To go 4 months without, where you're losing money every single month and you don't know why. Like, how do you? Okay, here's my question. How do you not, the first week you lose money, how do you not go, okay, all hands on deck, we're shutting the bunker, closing the hatch until we figure this out? Okay, this item I lost money on, I listed it for $10.25. I must figure out why this item didn't sell. Okay, over here. Okay, I bought it, or why it sold at a loss, rather. Okay, so bought it for this. Okay, it's a really heavy text. Okay, got it. Understood. So no excuse for it. So how do we explain it? I think the person is just looking at their app and interpreting things wrong, and they're not actually thinking. So we get back to, we'll put a bow on this now. The life lesson here is that this technology, guys, whether it's whether it's scanning apps, whether it's our weather app on our phone, lots of stuff. These are here to assist us. They're not here to replace us. And if you allow them to replace you, or you view them as a replacement for your brain, you forfeit the right to complain when the computer wreaks havoc on your life. All right, guys, we covered a lot of ground. You now have a 3-part mission. Are you ready? Mission number 1, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can build a whole business off of what I give away for free. Do it right now. Number 2, get all my free stuff. Hit the link below this video. Go to fbamastery.com. Get free reports, free web classes, no strings attached. Free means free. Hit the link below this video right now. And mission number 3, take what you learned in this video and go make money with it. This is Peter Valley signing off. See you in the next video.